That's all.
like we understand that wins and losses matter. We're taking this day by day. Like, we believe that we can win tonight. And that's where our focus is on the present.
And we say hello to the skipper of the White Sox. Will Venable joins the program now. Skipper, how you doing?
Great. How are you guys doing?
We're doing well.
Good.
We're doing very well. Congrats on a much better start to the season. I mean, the starting pitching is like, everybody's talking about this stat. You guys have tied an all-time record, I guess. And I believe, if I've got this right, Jesse Rogers was texting me that since earned runs became an official stat, that no team has ever made a full, run through the rotation without giving up an earned run. You guys can do that tonight. I mean, you got a young kid starting for the first time in Shane Smith, but how cognizant are you of that? And how does, I don't know, what could that potentially look like tonight if he's cruising along in the game and you guys haven't given up an earned run yet?
Yeah, I mean, we're not thinking about any kind of records. We're focused on just trying to get the win. And, Shane, excited about him with his big league debut. The four guys ahead of him have done an amazing job. We've been playing great defense behind our starting pitching. So just really happy with the effort here in the early going by both our pitching and defense. And we've had some good things happen at the plate as well.
What do you attribute that to most? Is it just, weird, fluky baseball stuff that's going on? I mean, it's such a small sample, but is there something specific within just the data you guys are using and the way you're sequencing guys? What is the secret to having four starters not give up an earned run yet?
Yeah, I think we, starting with our pitching coaching with Ethan and Weiser, these guys have done a great job in setting up game plans and, starting in spring training, even with the way that we attacked our pitching program and really pounding our fists on the table for the importance of throwing strikes. Our players have done a great job taking to that, and all the credit really goes to the players and what they've been able to do to go out there and execute at a high level.
How big is Brian Bannister's input in regard to some of that, too, as you just map out, big picture things that you guys want to accomplish on the pitching side?
Yeah, very, very much so, and it's really a collaborative effort with those guys. We feel really good about every kind of component of our pitching program, whether it be, pitch design, which Bannister is as good as it gets with that kind of stuff, and his creativity and thoughtfulness is amazing. Just connecting with the guys, our pitching coaches do an amazing job of building those relationships. And then, again, our players just really excited about what they've been able to do and kind of take all this information and put it to good use.
You've got some holdovers from last year. How do you purge what happened to this ball team last year? What are those challenges like?
I understand that those things are real, and certainly the things that these guys experienced last year, I'm sure have had an impact. But to be honest, it's just not anything that we're talking about internally here. There's things that we're focused on that we know are going to contribute to us playing better baseball, and that's been the focus every day. And, we understand, kind of where we're at as far as coming off of last year and wanting to prove to our fan base and to this league that we are getting better and that we're serious about going out and winning every day. So for us, it's about just kind of creating our own weather and our own environment and going out there and playing good baseball.
White Sox manager Will Venable is our guest. It's Carmen and Jurko on ESPN 1000 and the ESPN Chicago app. After you got the job and you really start to immerse yourself in the organization, did you see any weaknesses or maybe organizational blind spots that jumped off the page that you wanted to address right away? And if so, what were some of those things?
I think, part of the attraction to this job was really Chris Getz's transparency, throughout the interview process and then certainly afterwards on what those areas were that he had already recognized. And I was on board with the plan to go attack those. So, there are things that we need to work on in this organization. But it's not me coming in and saying, hey, we can do all these things better. It's me and Getsy, the front office, ownership, everybody really collaborating and kind of having an understanding all together that these are the things that are going to move us forward and having an attack plan to go get them better.
Is Luis Robert becoming a more patient hitter? He was down 0-2 in a count yesterday at one point, came back, drew a walk. What are some of the improvements that you guys set out
It's a
with
miracle
Luis.
worker. It's a miracle
Well,
worker.
I mean, just, to we know how good he can be. And last year was up and down, mostly down. He had some injuries too. But, like, what were some of the things that you guys wanted to work on? Is part of that just becoming a more patient hitter at the plate?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff, Louis working on, and I think it just starts with, having a repeatable swing and kind of a base with his stance that he likes. And, I feel like he's gotten to that spot, and it's really going to put him in a good position to see the baseball and take good aggressive swings at pitches that he likes to attack. Really with him, he's just such a good player. It's about keeping him healthy and keeping him on the field. And, we're all working hard to do that.
So the torpedo bats certainly are making a lot of news. Any of your guys using the torpedo bat yet?
Not that I know of. It really hasn't been a discussion here in the clubhouse.
Are you sort of interested in it? Have you sought out okay, exactly what's going on with these things? You're a smart guy. You went to Princeton. You understand the physics of it.
Oh.
Well, yeah, all I was thinking about is how much I wish I had it, because all I did was make contact off the label of my bat. So I was hoping that I would have had it a few years ago.
It's kind of crazy that we're just getting to this now, right? It seems so simple, Will.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great idea. It makes sense. It's legal, and for these guys to take advantage of it, if it's helping them, then good for them.
Will it force back to the pitching thing and how you guys structure starts and sequencing and all that? Will it force some sort of an adjustment back to how, I don't know, how you might have to attack certain hitters the more data you get from the players that are using these bats?
I don't know. I don't know if we've considered that to that level. I think that, the way to get guys out is going to remain the same. If this gives guys a little bit of an edge, we'll figure out if there is something to be done on our end. But to me, this is something that'll be in the news here, and it's kind of a hot topic, and I understand why, but I'm not sure it's going to change anything on our end.
What does Colson Montgomery have to do in the minors for him to sort of be deemed ready by you guys? What are you guys looking for?
Just continue to develop and to be himself. There's things in every part of his game, as a young player that you can continue to work on, whether that's on the bases, certainly, things at the plate that he's going to be working on defensively. We just want him to be ready. And every young player is going to have this learning curve when they show up here in the big leagues, and Colson's going to be here and be a big part of this. We just want to make sure that, we do everything we can to support that learning curve and that kind of transition to be as good as possible for him.
What has the general vibe been like as far as you can tell, and what are you striving to sort of achieve in that regard with the way these guys go about their business? And we know, look, I think everybody's realistic about what might still happen. There could be some more trades, and some of the veteran players might be traded. We understand where you guys are as an organization right now, but what's kind of been key for you to make sure that there is a good vibe, so to speak, in that clubhouse?
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I want to just be positive every day and do my part to create a positive environment for these guys to show up to every day. But these guys have really done a great job, man. I really like our guys. These guys are positive already. They have a ton of energy that they bring. They get along. They're connected. They've really taken this, on their own and created a really good environment where I know guys are excited to show up every day to work, and at the same time are going out there with energy and playing extremely hard.
Sounds like what attracted you to this job was that vision you were telling us about when you talked to Chris Getz and you kind of learned, where he was thinking and the transparency he had. Was there any point, Will? I mean, look, this is no secret. I mean, you're going to be a pretty hot managerial commodity here, and you could have maybe picked and choose very carefully in the coming seasons. Was there any hesitation at all, knowing the kind of season the White Sox were coming off of? Can you take us through what that process was like as you went down this road in the offseason?
Yeah, I really never thought about it. For me, it was about, what the plan was moving forward. It was about, who are my partners going to be in this, as we're collaborating to solve these problems and create solutions for us to get better. And, through those discussions with not just Getsy, but the whole front office, it was just apparent that this is a place that I wanted to be and couldn't be more excited about it.
Take us through the double steal real quick yesterday, if you could, and the aggressiveness behind that.
Yeah, that was really cool. We as a staff, we work really hard. And Bougie, our first base coach, did a great job in our advanced meeting yesterday, kind of highlighting an opportunity there to take third on Paddock, and we had a nice presentation about it as part of our advanced meeting. And then in that situation, right after we weren't able to get the bunt down and execute that, for him to go do that and have Amaya trail him. And kind of see that whole process play out and just have players go out there and be aggressive and use that information was really cool to see.
All right, how many layers tonight? It's going to be a chilly one.
Oh, man, there's not enough layers in my locker for tonight. I'm going to be, 5 if I can get it. I might have to ask for a couple more sweatshirts and jackets.
You a bubblegum guy or you a sunflower seed guy?
Try and stay away from the seeds. It ends up being bubble gum. Every couple innings, got to throw something in there to chew. So, definitely more of a bubble gum over seeds guy.
Coffee, hot chocolate, or hot apple juice? Apple cider.
Oh, coffee, 100%.
Only coffee?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Black coffee all night tonight.
Well,
Black
let me tell
coffee,
you,
nice and hot tonight.
after last year and the 40-some-odd victories that the White Sox had last year,
41.
all I'm hoping for is a strive to mediocrity, a strive to being average. Is there any chance this team can finish 500 this year?
We're
That's all.
like we understand that wins and losses matter. We're taking this day by day. Like we believe that we can win tonight. And that's where our focus is on the present. And we're going to look up and see where we're at the end of this. And I hope that we're around there. But I don't want to put any ceilings or any floors on this team. We just want to go out and win tonight.
All right, we appreciate the time. Go get another win. And hey, Shane Smith, let's do it, man. How about like 4 or 5 scoreless?
That'd be nice.
It'd be pretty incredible.
Why not?
Congrats on such a better start and just better vibes and better feelings around this team all the way around. So thanks for joining us today, Will. We appreciate it.
All right, thanks, guys. Take care.
All right.